How is it that you want to feel? Welcome to the Hopefulist with me, Wendy McClure. This is where we turn those nasty, negative thoughts into positive and work toward a happy, fulfilled life. Now, let's get started. Oh. We have passed Thanksgiving and we are full-fledged into the holiday season. That's right. We had all kinds of holiday festivities taking place after Thanksgiving. We went to our annual tree lighting ceremony here in our neighborhood. It's always such a nice, fun time. So many people come out for it. We run into so many friends and neighbors and people that we haven't seen in a while. We'd also gone down to a little town known for its holiday stuff. Earlier in the day, there was a Christmas carol being put on for the general public. It was outdoors. You couldn't really get near it. As soon as we got there, I guess we were late. They went into a half-hour intermission. So, we just walked around a couple of stores and then decided to head home. So, trying to get into the holiday spirit. I have my tree up, my real tree. I splurged for a real tree this year because I love Christmas. And we haven't had a real tree in I don't know how long. So long. Mostly for the fact that I put my tree up typically 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. Even getting it on Black Friday is pushing it with a real tree. But we'll see. We'll see how it lasts. It's drinking about a whole half gallon of water a day. So somebody told me yesterday to put a little sugar in the water, and that'll help retain the smell. So I'm going to try that today. A little update on my swearing off dieting forever. I'm starting to get a little panicky, I have to admit. My clothes are feeling a little tighter. I've got that little, that little paunch in your stomach that you can kind of feel it kind of just there now. I've definitely had a lot of second thoughts. I have to admit. It's very difficult. I don't want to gain weight. As often as I tell myself the size of my body does not matter, it's very hard to convince myself of that. But I am soldiering on because the good thing that has come out of this thus far, and I think to me, this is the most important part of this whole journey, is I don't feel this incessant need to overeat when I get the opportunity to do so. For example, Thanksgiving dinner. I didn't gorge myself. I ate more than I normally would, sure. I was full, sure. And, I even had a little bit of leftovers later on the night. Did I need those? No, absolutely not. But I've often turned these situations into literal food fests. And I haven't done that thus far. Again, it has not been a long period of time. I have to often remind myself to pay attention when I'm eating, pay attention to the taste of it, the smell of it, to slow down and to gauge my fullness through the process, and to stop when I'm full, to stop when I'm really just satisfied. And I think that part of it is coming along pretty well. So I'm going to stick with it. Nervous about quite a few things, but I really just don't want to do this back and forth anymore. It's exhausting. Completely and utterly exhausting. So that is the latest when it comes to my quest to never diet again. And as I mentioned before, I am getting a lot of my information from Intuitive Eating. It's a book. So if you are interested, it's like at least 25 years old. So you can definitely find a copy of it somewhere. But if you're interested in coming along this journey with me or just starting one of your own, I recommend that you get this book, Intuitive Eating. It really breaks a lot of things down. So I have actually written on my bathroom mirror, dieting backfires. You are more than your weight. I just have to convince myself of this now. And I'm working on it. It's a process. It's not going to happen overnight. I've been dieting for 40 years. I'm not going to all of a sudden wake up and have the no dieting mentality and not worry about these things overnight. It's just not going to happen. So it's a process. I'm sticking with it. I'm working through the feelings. And I'm hoping for the best. Hoping for the best. Quote of the day today: I will be singing, sparkling, and shining for the foreseeable future. That's right, I sang it. I love singing Christmas carols. I just love singing, honestly. And I love Christmas music. So my husband, he really, really loves me. He will listen to all of the Christmas carols and the Christmas music in the car just for me. And I do appreciate him for that. He's a good man. He's a real good man. So I have always loved Christmas. You know, I call myself the crazy Christmas lady, and I start decorating typically well before Thanksgiving. People always give me a hard time saying, you know, you're rushing it, you're skipping Thanksgiving. I've talked about this many times. I don't skip Thanksgiving. I always have a Thanksgiving dinner, no matter whose house it is at. And if it happens to be at my own, I enjoy my turkey dinner right next to the sparkling Christmas tree. So, with all of that said, I have tried to delve into the reasons that I am so crazy about Christmas. And I think I came up with the answer. And the reason I believe that I love Christmas so much is because it brings back joyous memories. Because growing up, we didn't have many of our emotional needs met. Now, if you're a Generation Xer like I am, you know what I'm talking about. We were kind of left on our own. That's what Gen X is known for. We were the latchkey kids. I am a literal latchkey kid. I literally got sent to school with a key on a shoelace around my neck to get into the house. We were left to our own devices a lot of the time when we were growing up. Now, do not get me wrong. I had all of my physical needs met. I had a stable house. I went to school every day. I had food every day. I got new clothes at the start of every school year. But there wasn't a lot of happiness day to day. There just wasn't a lot. You know, in my generation, the kids were seen and not heard. And we didn't get an opinion. So it's a lot different from these generations that came after us, who were made to feel special. In fact, I feel like we were made to feel the opposite, that we weren't special, that we had to wait our turn to get our way and to get what we wanted. And as I often joke, and then Gen X had millennials and Gen Zers, who now the whole world revolves around your kid. So poor Gen X has never had their time. I stand by that statement. Now, I don't have kids, but I'm going just by, the way that the generations have evolved. And now kids are much more at the forefront of the family rather than being, in the background of the family. If you get my drift. I think you know what I mean. I hope you know what I mean. So I didn't have the happiest of childhoods is what I'm trying to say. It was not, lacking or abusive or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying at all. But my mother did make sure to make Christmas special in our house. And I really credit her for that. I think it was one of the few times in childhood that I was truly excited joyous and happy for getting presents. And, I still love getting presents. I am not going to lie to you. I love getting presents. It's just so exciting to me to open up a package and, see something that somebody thought of to get for me, something that they thought I would like. Makes me feel special. And going back to what I was saying, I didn't really feel special all that much growing up. So I think that's one of the reasons, the main reason why I love Christmas so much. It was a special time of year that made me feel special. And my mother even made sure to keep Christmas as something very special as I was an adult. I didn't get married until I was 41, in fact. And so there were many Christmases as an adult that I was alone. And I always spent Christmas Eve at my mother's house. And I always woke up to presents under the tree with my name on it every year until I was 40. So I really thank and honor my mother for doing that, for making sure that Christmas was always special to me. And I think that's why I love it so much. Because for so long, I think it was really the only thing that I looked forward to, as sad as that is to say. And I'm not trying to be woe is me or anything. I'm just trying to say that I just didn't have a lot in my life to look forward to. At least I didn't think I did, because I was such a pessimist. But I knew that Christmas was going to be special. So I knew that that was something I could look forward to, and it really, truly would be special. It wasn't always, the best Christmas. There were some that were better than others or whatever, but it was still always something that I looked forward to and just derived a lot of joy from. That's why I just get into all of it. I love the trees. I love the lights. I love the music. I love the events. So this leads me into, how is it that you want to feel through this holiday season? Because there's all kinds of different ways to feel. I typically feel excitement. I feel joy, anticipation. Maybe you're looking to feel calm and peaceful. Maybe you typically stress through the holidays, so you just want to be, a little more calm. Maybe the holiday season's about togetherness for you. Maybe it's about getting together with your friends or getting together with your family and spending some quality time together. Maybe it's just ignoring the whole thing. Maybe you're not a fan of the holidays. Maybe you just want to disappear throughout them. And if that's what you want to do, that's perfectly okay. But the first thing that you need to ask yourself is, how do I want to feel through this holiday season? And when you come up with the answer to that, that is when you can go on to other questions that will help you keep and get that feeling. As I mentioned, I like the excitement of Christmas. I have things planned throughout the holiday season that will keep me busy and feeling the excitement and joy throughout the whole season. Just last weekend, I mentioned a couple of things that we did: the tree lighting in our neighborhood, the Christmas Carol play that didn't pan out, but, we tried. This coming weekend, we have our big Christmas parade on Long Beach Island. It's always a big event. Ton of people turn out for it. Then we typically head to a friend of ours' house for a little bit of an after party, and that's always a lot of fun. The following day, Sunday, I am planning to head to New York City. And there is nothing like New York City at Christmas time. If you have never been to New York City at Christmas, I urge you to make plans. It is just incredibly beautiful. the store window displays, the tree in Rockefeller Center, the people everywhere. It's just nobody does Christmas like New York. I just love New York City, especially at Christmas time. So that is the question. What will you be doing to ensure that you will have this feeling that you have picked to feel throughout the holiday season? You know, other things that I have planned is I have I think at least 3 gatherings with friends leading up to the holidays. I have 1 party, and I have a dinner gathering with one of my book clubs and something with my other book club. I'm in a lot of book clubs. But yeah, that's going to help me, feel the excitement of being around other people, and I get to dress up, and, I have all kinds of Christmas clothing. I have earmuffs with little antler ears, and I have a little headband that has an elf hat, and I have a Santa hat that has a leopard fur trim instead of the white, which is me perfectly. So I have all kinds of things that I can wear and show off and, be my goofy self around other people. So that will make me happy. So what are some of the things that you will do to ensure the feeling that you are trying to obtain? If you want to be calm and peaceful, what will you need to do to keep that feeling throughout the season? Does that mean getting ahead on your shopping, getting ahead on the wrapping of the gifts, planning out menus, whatever it takes to keep the stress level down? Plan ahead. Is your feeling togetherness? Do you want to see a lot of people over the holidays? Then you need to make plans. You need to make sure that you're searching out gatherings that are happening. You can be hosting your own gatherings. You can be talking to the family about what the plans are. When are we going to be getting together? What are we going to be doing? Is it dinner? Is it brunch? Is it breakfast? What are we doing? We just switched up our Christmas Eve plans, mostly because football is involved. We are big football fans. I love me some football. And I got to tell you that my Philadelphia Eagles are doing pretty well this year. We've only had 1 loss, which was pitiful. We should not have lost that game. Well, we should have lost that game because they looked terrible. But they had been looking so good. I don't know what happened to them that game. They really should have lost the next game too, but they squeaked it out. We're not going to get into it. But they played this past Sunday night. And, I can't stand a night game because I am an early bird. And I go to bed by 9 o'clock most nights. So when the game doesn't start until 8:20, it's painful for me. So as my husband's getting ready to go to bed, I said, "You're so lucky you get to go to bed." And he goes, "You're so lucky you get to stay up and watch football." And I was like, you know what? He's right. I am so lucky I get to stay up and watch football. And it was a great game. Great game. Defeated the Green Bay Packers. Take that, Aaron Rodgers. Blah, blah, blah. But anyway, the football games are going to be played on Christmas Eve. My husband is a Giants fan. I know. But his game will be on at 1 o'clock. The Eagles will be playing at 4. And I thought you might be a good time to hang out with my sister-in-law. Her husband is a very big Eagles fan. And we can just kind of hang out, spend some time with family, and watch some good football. So that's what we're going to be doing on Christmas Eve this year. And I'm very excited about it. Very excited about it. I think there's going to be charcuterie involved. Charcuterie. It's a very big word. So how is it that you want to feel? And what will you do to ensure that you get and obtain that feeling? And the final question to ask yourself is this: What type of boundaries will I need to make sure this feeling happens and sustains itself throughout the holiday? If you want less stress, if you want to be calm, if you want to be peaceful, what do you need to say no to? If you want to be calm and peaceful, I wouldn't go to the mall. I would do online shopping. I don't mind the hustle and the bustle. That's why I'm going to New York City. I even told my husband I'd really like to go to a mall and see it all decorated because I haven't been to a mall since pre-pandemic. And, this is when malls shine. They've got Santa Claus and they've got all the sparkle and the razzle-dazzle and all of this stuff bright and shiny, and I just love it. So I will be at the mall happily, but if the mall is not your thing, there are plenty of ways to avoid it. Do you need to stay away from certain people this holiday season? People that make you feel uncomfortable or unhappy. Do what you can to avoid those people. And if you can't avoid them, then you need to set boundaries for yourself on how much you will tolerate. If this person starts treating you badly, you remove yourself from the situation. That's one option. The other option would be to say, hey, I don't like the way you're treating me. Can you please stop? A lot of people have trouble with that one. But come up with ways to set the boundaries for yourself in situations that may be uncomfortable for you so that you know going in what your plan is going to be. And that way, you just follow your plan. It's already laid out. There's none of this in the moment, oh my gosh, I can't believe they just said that, because you already knew that they were going to say that or something similar to it. So now you know exactly how you are going to handle it. I hope that helps. So, just 3 things to keep that feeling you want throughout the entire holiday season. The first thing, of course, to figure out how it is you want to feel through this holiday season. What will you do to ensure that feeling? Be it go to the mall or stay away from the mall. Keep up with the wrapping as you go along, or wait until the last day and do it all at once. Which would make you happiest? Which will make you feel that feeling that you just said you want to feel throughout the holidays? And what type of boundaries will you need to make sure that you keep this feeling that you just determined, that you just named? So with that, I hope that you do have the holiday season that you are searching for. Keep in mind that you are an adult now, and you do not have to follow anyone else's holiday traditions if you don't like them. Start your own traditions. You're an adult now. You get to do that. So I hope that you are having and will continue to have a fabulous holiday season. To me, it is the greatest time of the year, and I hope that you guys get to enjoy it as much as I always do. So please share this with your friends as they can work on having their perfect holiday season for themselves. As always, thank you so much for joining me. I do appreciate it so much. And now, of course, I want you to go out there and be your badass self. You know I'm here cheering you on. Thank you for listening to The Hopefulist. Now, don't you feel good? Make sure you come back next week. See you then.